Welcome to another episode of Jay's Finest. Today we're gonna do something special to Mustang that I think is gonna make it pop out a little bit more, and I'm gonna show you what it is. So today we're gonna go ahead and paint the calipers for today. Pretty much what we're gonna do, we're gonna paint the two fronts and the two rear. There's no point in just having the fronts red and the rear not red. We're gonna go ahead and show you the process of making this all happen. And the first step we gotta do before we raise up the car or anything else is take and loosen up these lug nuts, so while they have some weight on it, so they don't start turning the wheel as you try to unlock the wheel lug nuts. We loosen up all the lug nuts from the Mustang. The next step is to lift up the Mustang. Now we're gonna put 4 jacks underneath the Mustangs just to make our lives a lot easier. All these bugs are flying everywhere. But anyways, so we're gonna go ahead and lift up the Mustang. You guys already seen it in previous videos how to do it. You just gotta go ahead and get the jack underneath there where the pinch welds are. Lift the Mustang up. We're gonna put 4 jacks instead of just 2, and then lift it from the differential. I think it's a little bit more safer. Plus we're on the incline in my driveway. Don't want the Mustang to go anywhere at all. Zero, please, for the love of Christ. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Once we do, we'll show you how the Mustang looks without wheels on 4 jacks. All right, so as you can see, all 4, you can see on the other side there, jack stands are holding the Mustang. If you're curious how a Mustang would look with a lift kit, this is how it will look. But please, for the love of Christ, don't do it. But anyways, so the reason why we put 4 jack stands is it's easier just to do all 4 calipers at the same time, because there is a little process to do, paint them, to repaint them again, do different coats. Instead of just doing that, if it say it takes 2 hours to put one coat, another 2 hours to put another coat, then you put the wheel back on and everything else, then you're gonna do the rear, so that's gonna end up being like 4 hours, 6 hours, depending how long you take. It's really up to you. So just to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, we just lifted the whole car up with 4 jack stands. We're gonna go ahead and take the wheels off, and then we're start prepping the paint. The Mustang is without wheels, so it's gonna make our life 100 times easier, and this is the best way to do it. And obviously, because these calipers are a lot bigger, the good news is that since the wheels are off and it's not really stopping us from turning the wheel, we'll go ahead and just turn the wheel, so we can paint obviously the other side of the calipers right over here. So we can do is just turn it right here, and we can go ahead and paint it. But before we paint or do anything else, we do want to clean all of this with brake cleaner. We haven't used the Mustang for a little bit, but we still want to make sure there is no brake dust or nothing on there, so it doesn't stick on the paint doesn't stick to the calipers, and that makes your life miserable. But to avoid that, we'll go ahead and clean all of this with brake cleaner. They actually provide this with the GT2 kit, this brake cleaner over here. So we're going to go ahead and spray, and then we're going to wipe it down, and then we do that all around with all the 4 calipers, and then we should from there be good to start painting. Alright, once you're done cleaning your calipers, the next step is to tape everything up that does not want to be painted. Or you don't want to be painted, not it itself, but whatever it is that you don't want to get painted, you have to go ahead and wrap it up with at least painter's tape, which is the easiest thing to put on and take off. Alright, so our game plan pretty much is to paint everything else besides this nozzle right here, which is going to be to bleeding the brakes, and also this hardware right here. Alright, so as you can see, go ahead and cover all the little hardware that's in there, all the screws and everything that we don't really want it to be painted, so it looks more legit once you paint everything red. And if you have patience, you can go ahead and do this. If you don't have patience, you might as well paint over it, or just take off the calipers and all the bolts and whatnot. And of course, you can't forget the rears. So rears doesn't have any hardware facing out, because this is a free-floating caliper compared to the fixed caliper that we have in the front. So we just cover the bolts here, another bolt on the bottom. We cover, obviously there's some of the rotors, some of the other stuff here. Some of the brake pads are more a little obvious. So right now what we're going to be doing, we're going to go ahead and be prepping the paint so we can start painting. Alright, so since we just mixed the what they give you here, you can read it right here. It just helps it to dry quicker. If this camera can zoom. This comes with a kit, so you don't have to worry about buying this separately. So once you mix it in and you shake it and whatnot, you have to leave it closed for at least 5 minutes, so you can I guess cure for it with each other. This is the G2. I don't know why I keep saying GD2, but that's the G2 kit. So leave this for 5 minutes, and after 5 minutes, we're gonna go ahead and grab this stick right here, and then we'll go ahead and mix it. Alright, so the game plan is to put the first coat on there, which is not gonna be perfect. It's just gonna be a quick brush, just getting the paint on there, and you can still see a lot of the gray on there. But then the second coat is when once you let it dry for at least what, like 2 hours or so, or an hour, or 30 minutes depending, because we do live in South Florida, so it's really hot here. So once we let this dry, we're gonna put a second coat, and if we do feel like we probably do a third coat. It's gonna really depending on how it looks. So let's go ahead and get started. Did it. The sun's really bright, but we just put a quick coat on there. It's not gonna be perfect. And then from there, we're gonna just go ahead and do the other side and redo the same thing. Just do a quick coat. Just don't go. I mean, you can see obviously you see a little of the gray, but just to put the first layer on there. So once we get the first layer on there, we're gonna go to the other side and do the same thing, and should have it up. All right, so we did put the first coat on both sides. Now we're just gonna go ahead and do the rears. I was gonna show you painting the other side because it's gonna be really tedious. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and start painting this, and you guys get to see how difficult this one is compared to a fixed rotor versus a free-flowing rotor. So see how this goes. The first coat is on all 4 calipers. This one I don't think we have to do maybe another coat, but we're just gonna maybe touch it up just in case. It looks like it covered up pretty good. Let's go around the other side. Same thing in the rear, it's all good. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and start again with this one, because obviously you can see it's not complete just yet. That was just the first coat, so now we're gonna go on a second coat, and then from there should be done. Well, second coat is on. Just a little minor touches, whatever we missed. They're gonna look obviously a lot brighter because the first one was very light, so you can see still the gray. Now it's completely red all around, baby, all around. This does take patience. And just in case, if you don't want to be struggling the other side, you can do one coat on the other side and just recoat again, nothing too crazy. But this side where everybody can see it, you can coat it 100%. Obviously, you're going to have to let this dry. But since it's South Florida, it can dry in like in no time. So always just make sure you just leave the car here, let it sit for at least 24 hours at least. So make sure it's cured completely. But here it is. This is the outcome of it. Just one more time so you guys can see. Tried our best. We still got some paint on some stuff that we didn't want, like this e-brake switch here, little things like that. We kind of got paint on there. One of the brake pads in a corner. We're gonna see how we can get rid of that so it doesn't really show once we're on tape everything. We're gonna let it dry obviously, so we don't take out the tape and then peel off some of the paint. That's not our game plan at all. But it does match with the lower spring. Cool, right? Right, we're finally done. All right, just an FYI moment, things you need to know and things you need to do, so therefore you're going to the same struggles we did. We didn't go too much struggles, to be honest, but it was something that heads up. Number one, make sure you have a whole day to do this. You can't just go ahead and just do it in a matter of, I don't know, 2 or 4 hours, because then it's just gonna be tedious to take all the tape off, putting tape on, make sure you get all the angles, and obviously depending on the brake you got, it's gonna take a little bit longer to go painting every angle. Another thing is, like my fingers are all painted, I suggest if you can just wear any type of glove. That way if you get any paint, will go on the glove and not on your fingers or your hand or anything else or anywhere else. And also just be mindful of just make sure you clean your rotors, clean everything in there, your calipers, make sure they're clean. So all little minor little details like that, you should be fine. Just make sure key of everything is you have a whole day to do it. Right now we're gonna go with this beautiful, lovely shot.
Close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
Well, I hope you guys like how it came out. I think the outcome came out really good. My dad and I really loved how it all came out together. Especially with how the cars all coming with the same colors, no awkward colors in there. If you do like the colors, let us know in the comments. If not, what other color would you put on the Mustang for the calipers? So let us know to see what other opinions are out there. There are future mods are also coming on down for the Mustang to make it a little bit louder. But anyways, besides that, please like, subscribe. There's a lot more Mustang content coming along, and yeah, so thanks for watching.